organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, safety overseas. See what changes are being made to make the study abroad program safer for students.
And phoning a friend. See what new procedures will help keep arrest numbers lowest on game days.
And in sports, Whip Around is back. We're going around UI Athletics to get you caught up on everything black and gold.
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for tuning into your Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Nicole Meehan.
And I'm Rebecca Hager. A growing amount of students have been taking advantage of the UI's study abroad programs. With costs of travel going up and new safety measures in place, our own Stefan Juran tells us how study abroad officials are making traveling easier for students.
One thing that would make going to class a little less dreadful for the average student would be if their classes were in a different country. Every semester, hundreds of students travel around the world for schooling via the university's study abroad program. The most popular of these programs involve traveling to places such as Paris, Germany, or Italy, but with rising costs to travel to places such as Europe, study abroad officials are continuing to advertise non-European countries as great alternatives.
Going to a more developing country can be a less expensive proposition than going to a developed country.
When studying outside of Iowa, there are also some risks that could go along with. In the last year, the death of Iowa student Tom Plockton has brought some concern to students looking to travel around the world. This event has led the study abroad program to continually increase safety for students when traveling. Recently, new policies have been implemented in the program. Now all students must have valid health care before traveling, and all third-party study programs have to be reviewed by the university's risk assessment team and other legal counsels as well.
Although incidents have happened in the past, study abroad officials say that these programs are the best ways for students to explore new countries.
Just going to keep sending people out of here. That's the goal, is to get students away from Iowa City, someplace new and different, and turn them loose and let them learn a lot.
Stefan Juran, Daily Iowan TV.
Students are always encouraged to stop in the study abroad office to see what new programs are available.
A new police procedure will give those who are arrested on game day an opportunity to phone a friend. This change adds to the previous adjustments from the University of Iowa Police. The change in procedure comes as a part of the Think Before You Drink tailgating campaign. Now when someone is arrested and placed in the Kinnick holding cell for public intoxication, they will be allowed a phone call. If the offender can get in touch with a sober friend, they will take the arrested person home. Police say this will lower the amount of people transported to the county jail, cutting down costs and crowding. Phone calls will be only allowed for game day arrests. For more information, you can look at tomorrow's edition of the Daily Iowan to read more about how much money this new policy will save.
University of Iowa's Master of Business Administration program is now accepting the revised version of the Graduate Record Examination, also known as the GRE. In 2011, the GRE decided to revise their tests to better evaluate student skills. One big change is that if a student takes multiple tests, they can choose which version of the test to submit. This is the first year that the Iowa's MBA program will be accepting these revised tests on a case-by-case basis.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, a battle of the fruits. I show you which harvest had the most smashing season.
And in sports, we've got coverage of the University of Iowa's men's basketball team's media day.
But first, let's take a look at this week's weather with Eric Don.
Thanks, Nicole. We started our week with a sunny Monday. The clear skies will continue into the night as temperatures drop into the mid-40s. Looking to tomorrow, the morning will be partly cloudy with a 57-degree high. The afternoon will have the high for the week at 73 degrees. In the night, the temperatures will drop to 61 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Now let's take a look at the extended forecast. Wednesday, we are looking at a pretty big chance for thunderstorms. That chance drops significantly Thursday to only 20%. Friday, we begin our weekend with cloudy skies and low 50s. Saturday, it will be 59 degrees for the home football game. And finally, Sunday, we end the weekend with cloudy skies and 64 degrees. That's all for weather. Back to you girls at the desk.
And speaking of weather, after this summer, it was hard to find any positives about the drought. However, one of the many things that the drought did cause was fewer tornadoes. So far this year, there have only been 16 recorded tornadoes. A tornado hasn't been recorded in Iowa since May 24th. Iowa's yearly average has been 47 per year. Officials are confident that the number will hold up because tornadoes are rare in the fall season.
Unusual weather this year has caused some harvesters havoc. I went out to Wilson's orchard to find out about one crop that flourished. Little kids won't be disappointed with this year's pumpkin harvest. Low rainfall and high temperatures have helped the fall favorite grow and grow and grow. Out here at Wilson's orchard, while there are a lot of pumpkins, there are also a lot of kids here. I'm here with a few kids that were out here getting some pumpkins. What has been your favorite part here at the pumpkin patch? The apples? Now, apples are the fruit that have not seen such success this year. Paul Rash is the owner of Wilson's orchard. He said that this year they lost 95% of their signature crop.
On pumpkins, on the other hand, we worried a lot about the drought and the heat that we got all summer, really adversely affecting the crop. But what we saw is really that the pumpkins went crazy.
The warm winter and hot summer caused the apples to blossom early, making them more vulnerable to frost. Rash said that the pumpkins thrived in this heat. The high temperatures also kept away pests and disease, making the pumpkin growers' jobs a little easier. Although it was common, not all growers saw such success with their pumpkins. Now it's time to take a look at what's going on outside of Iowa City. British Prime Minister and Scottish First Minister met and finalized the vote that could break up the United Kingdom on Monday. Officials met for weeks trying to work out details for a vote that would separate Scotland from the United Kingdom. Although a deal was met on Monday, Scottish citizens will be able to vote on the separation in October of 2014.
Iraq saw a string of insurgent attacks on Monday. A parked car bomb and a roadside bomb exploded near a governmental building in Kirkuk. Another bomb went off in a residential area in the same city. And in the capital city of Baghdad, gunmen performed a drive-by shooting on a civilian's car. Iraqi police say that the attacks left 2 dead and 18 injured.
6 aid group employees have been kidnapped from their guest homes in Niger. Nigerian police say witnesses saw 2 men in trucks pull up in front of the house and take the workers. The workers that were abducted worked for a Nigerian aid group to help malnourished children. Officials believe the abductions are related to Al-Qaeda and have launched a search operation for the missing workers.
And now it's time to take a look at Hawkeye Sports with Giovanna Simic.
Hello and welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. We have a lot to get you caught up on from a wild weekend of Hawkeye athletics. But as promised, we start with coverage of the Iowa Men's Basketball Media Day that took place late last week. The Black and Gold are coming off one of their more successful seasons in recent memory that included 18 wins, 8 of those in the Big Ten, as well as wins in the Big Ten tournament and NIT tournament respectively. But as always, with more success comes more expectations. So Coach McCaffrey, where do you expect your team to be playing in March?
I mean, obviously, you want to get to the NCAA tournament and advance. That would be the goal. But for us, in terms of our progression, year one, we weren't sure exactly what we were going to, how we were going to end up. And we had some excellent moments and some other struggles, but that was to be expected. Last year, we expected to improve, which we did. Accomplished a lot of things that we hadn't previous years. And then now, obviously, we want to get better. And so if you're looking at 18 wins in an NIT bid, then the next logical step is the NCAA tournament.
One of the players responsible for the rise of the men's hoops team has been 6'6" junior Devin Marble. The Southfield, Michigan native dropped nearly 12 points a game for the Black and Gold last season, including a memorable 31-point performance against the University of Oregon in the National Invitational Tournament. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Josh Bolander caught up with the Hawkeye playmaker.
Josh Bolander sitting alongside Devin Marble. And Devin, we were just in the press conference with your coach, and he mentioned that you're going to have a little bit more of a go-to role this year, maybe even play that Matt Gatens role in the clutch. What do you think about that?
You know, it's just something I have to look forward to. You know, I'm happy that my coach has that much confidence in me. I have the same confidence in myself, so I'm ready to take on that challenge.
Yeah, definitely. He also mentioned that you've been working on a little bit more of a jump shot this year. Anything else in the offseason that you worked on to get better as a player?
Defensively, worked on a lot of lateral quickness. Strengthened my legs a lot this year. I'm much more explosive than I was last year, so it's been a good summer.
Yeah. Adam Woodbury coming in, a legitimate 7-footer. The program hasn't seen that in quite some time. What does that do for you offensively? Does it give you a little bit more flexibility with your game?
I think so. He's going to definitely open up the court a lot more. A thing that a lot of people don't know about Woody is he's an excellent passer and a willing one. So I'm able to cut off of him, and then if they do send doubles, he's able to pass out of it. Sets excellent screens, gets me open a lot in practice. So me and him will have a lot of fun this year.
All right, thank you, Devin. Back to you guys in the studio.
As mentioned at the top of the show, a lot of action going on in Hawkeye sports over the weekend. Alyssa Bergamini kicks off our coverage.
A little rain and strong gusts of winds did not stop the Hawkeyes from playing against 4th-ranked Penn State at this Sunday's game. The Hawkeye fans brought their umbrellas and rooted for the black and gold. The Iowa women's soccer team had home field advantage against the powerful Penn State Nittany Lions. The Nittany Lions stole the Hawkeyes' thunder and won with a close score of 2-1. But the Hawkeyes' defense and offense played tough, considering the undefeated Big Ten record for the Penn State women. Sunday afternoon was their 9th consecutive win. Number 19 junior Taylor Schramm set the tone for the game, scoring within the first 3 minutes, and Hawks forward Chloe Lacoste had the right idea, scoring just outside the 18-yard box, tying the two teams. This marks Lacoste's 12th goal of the season. Tying at halftime with a score of 1-1, the Hawks came back with a vengeance, but fell short to the Lions as another goal was scored by Taylor Schramm. And despite the two devastating losses, the women were warriors this weekend, playing against 2 Big Ten teams, Ohio State and Penn State. The Hawkeyes also hosted the Ohio State game this Friday and was defeated for the first time at home. The Buckeyes beat the Hawkeyes 4-1. But the Hawks will be back at it again this Thursday, looking for a win from the University of Nebraska. Alyssa Bergamini, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The women's volleyball team was also in action over the weekend, but struggled much like the soccer Hawks, losing back-to-back matches against conference foes Minnesota and Wisconsin. But perhaps the most important for an Iowa program was played out on Sunday. We now bring in field hockey beat reporter Cody Goodwin. And Cody, what happened with the Field Hawks? They lost their first conference match over the weekend.
Indeed, they went out to Penn State and they lost their first conference match to Penn State 5-1. The score doesn't really depict what actually happened. Iowa was put on their heels earlier in the game, and unlike most games where they have been able to come back, they weren't able to recover as quickly. Penn State has a pair of All-American forwards that were able to score early and score often against Iowa, and the Big Ten's best offense, Penn State leads the conference, scoring 67 goals so far this season. That's including the 5 over the weekend against Iowa. They're just a real tough team, and Iowa's going to have to scheme and prepare for the Big Ten tournament because that's the next time and maybe the only other time that they're going to be able to see Penn State, and we know they want their revenge.
All right, well, thank you, Cody, for your insight on the Field Hawks. That's all for us here. Back to you guys at the desk.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at tomorrow's edition of the Daily Iowan.
Go to dailyiowan.com tomorrow to view a photo essay on the Latin American Symposium on campus this past weekend.
Also find out what a celebrity visitor on campus had to say about early voting. That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.